So this is a lightning
It's
round
called a lightning
of questions.
round.
3
Wrap this shit
answers,
up, man.
please.
Yeah, we got to wrap it up
President
now.
Biden will be
Wrap
82
this
years
shit up.
old on Inauguration Day. Nearly 70% of Americans say that he is too old to serve. Should presidents have to pass a mental and physical test
This is the
in order
question.
to serve, Vice President
He's
Pence?
so unserious.
Well, it might be a good idea to have everybody in Washington, D.C. pass a mental and but
Yes or no?
30 seconds, no. The American people can make those judgments. But let me say, I'm running for president of the United States.
The American people don't
We
pick
don't need
our
a president
leaders.
who's too
Goldman
old.
Sachs does, you stupid.
And we don't need a president who's too young. We need a president who's been
Oh,
there.
my God.
Vivek is beating him, so his job was to go after
How the White
Vivek.
House
'Cause
worked,
Vivek is
how
beating him.
states worked. And on this education issue, Martha, I was fighting against No Child Left Behind when Republicans were doubling the Department of Education. I'll also shut down the federal Department of Education. And when I was
Republicans was
governor,
doubling it,
we
and that's a
doubled
bad
the
thing
size
to
of the
you.
largest school choice program in America. And we'll give school choice to every family in America when I'm in the White House.
This is a lightning round, Mr. Ramaswamy. I think you were mentioned there. You're 38. You're the youngest on the stage. You've said, and you just said, you want a civics test or public service for those under 25 to be able to vote. So the question is,
So you want
do you want a
brainwash?
mental acuity test for presidents over 75?
I believe in the people of this country to tell the difference between somebody who's an automaton and somebody who's actually a thinking agent in the White House, which we don't have in there today. And I will tell you, I want to address Vice President Pence's comment. I think we do need somebody of a different generation to lead this nation forward. Look at the way I've run this campaign. Go into the south side of Chicago, to Kensington, in the middle of Philadelphia, where traditional Republican candidates don't go. We have an opportunity to build a multi-ethnic working class majority to deliver a landslide. And I think I'm the only candidate in this race. Young or old,
They're just
black or
listening to
white,
our
to bring
podcast
all of
and
those
taking
voters
our
along
language.
to deliver
Working
a
class,
1980
people of color
revolution.
majority. He just said that.
Yeah.
He just said
So the
that.
problem isn't age, the problem is class.
I will answer that. I will answer
30
that.
seconds. 30
Yep.
seconds.
30 second quick answer.
You guys have to get control of this. Everybody's going to get
Listen, we're getting control of the debate. This is a lightning round, not rolling thunder.
Is there a
Governor
debate or
Hutchinson,
not?
you have
Yeah, well,
30
is there a
seconds on
debate
the
or
same
not?
question.
On
Fox
education,
News is
first of all, look at
incompetent at this.
Arkansas. We have to compete with China.
they
I
suck.
built computer science education.
What
We
is
led
this
the
guy
nation in
talking? Why
computer
is he
science
here?
education, going from 1,100 students to 23,000 students taking it. This is how you compete with China. As president of the United States, I will make sure we go from 51% of our schools offering computer science to every school in rural areas and urban areas offering computer science for the benefit of our kids, and we can compete with China in terms of technology.
Thank you, sir. This is going to go to this is coming to you. We're trying to do a quick round of different topics here. So, Senator Scott, faith is on decline in this country. You talked about it a little bit before tonight.
What?
So, is there a role for a president of the United States in changing that? What would you do to change that?
What?
Well, our nation was founded upon
That's
the
a question?
Judeo-Christian
That is
values
a
that has made this
stupid
the greatest
goddamn
nation on
question.
God's green earth. I'm a big believer in Ephesians 3:20 that God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or imagine. Our responsibility should be to model the behavior we want others to follow. On education, the only way we change education in this nation is to break the backs of the teachers' unions. They are standing in the doorhouse of our kids, locking them into failing schools and locking them out of the greatest future they could have.
Oh, my God.
As
Amazing.
President Governor DeSantis, would you support some mandatory military service for all Americans?
I think it should be voluntary. I'm somebody that volunteered to serve, inspired by September 11th, and I deployed to Iraq.
No, they gonna have niggas in the street
US
so
Navy
fast,
SEALs
they
in
do
places
that.
like Fallujah, Ramadi,
Military
and it's
stuff.
something that I think has taught me, you know, when you go in that type of environment, anything you have, your personal agenda, you check it at the door. You go there, and it's about focusing on the mission above all else. And guys come together, and they get it done. And that's how I would view being the president of the United States. It's not about me. It's not about all these other side issues. My sole focus will be on your future and reversing this country's decline.
Okay, now for something a little out of this world, and this is for you, Governor Christie. Do you believe that the recent spike in UFO encounters
Oh my God.
What?
Question.
If we didn't watch this at all,
Okay.
if we didn't watch this at all, we would have no different information.
And
We
people
would
are
be
taking this a lot more seriously.
like, what do
And
we
we're hearing
gain
that,
from this?
there are
What
things going on.
policies
that
do
people
I
are
know
They're asking
about
the
Chris
fat
Christie
Baron.
that I didn't know before?
Governor
Like
Christie,
what?
Would you
is a
level
joke.
with the American people about what the government knows about these possible
Look,
encounters?
Martha, and especially coming from a woman from New Jersey, I think it's horrible that just because I'm from New Jersey, you asked me about unidentified flying objects and Martians. We're different, but we're not that different.
I guess that's some kind of inside joke.
Of course, the job of the President of the United States is to level with the American people about everything. The job of the President of the United States is to stand for truth. The job of the President of the United States is to be a role model for our children and our grandchildren. And so whether it was UFOs or this problem of education, and Tim's right, by the way, and I started this in 2010 by going right after the teachers unions in New Jersey and drove them down to an all-time low popularity rating because they were putting themselves before our kids. That is the biggest threat to our country, not UFOs.
Okay. Well, coming up, we've got closing arguments. Plus, right after the debate, Hannity is live from the spin room right here in the Fiserv
Thank God.
Forum with reaction from all the candidates as soon as they step off.